Ugh. It's to be cold. Really, 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 really cold. And I don't know how well this thing is gonna capture my voice. Maybe I should move it closer. Maybe not. I don't know. It depends how loudly I speak. I don't know why I'm filming this. Just in the same way I didn't know why I was filming those other 3 things. You know? The other 3 things. By the other 3 things, I mean the other 3 videos. Actually, this is probably the 4th video that I'm filming that I might not post. And the reason for why I didn't post those videos is I don't know. I just didn't feel like posting them. Just something about it felt off. And even though I said that I would post everything, I would document every single part of me without exception. It's a very interesting proposal that I made. Because not posting is also part of myself. I'm not. I don't know. Regardless, I pressed that button. Pressed that button to, again, to attempt talking about something, I guess. What that something is probably exactly this. See, it's hard to film yourself and to put it out there. It's hard to just speak and to tell yourself, yeah, this has enough importance and relevance to be put out there, right? Because it doesn't really matter what other people think. It matters what you yourself think about the value of what you're putting out there. But within this valuation of myself, there is my valuation of the plethora of content that's out there. And it's just a question of, how much do I value? It's not even how much do I value my content, because I think it's, I watch myself. It's pretty entertaining. Every single video I didn't post, I watched it back. I thought it's good, but then just something about it doesn't. It just doesn't. It just didn't. It just didn't. So I didn't. Holy Jesus! Stop! Not now, okay? Not now. Maybe come in later. Later, okay? I'm filming. Jesus, I'm filming, okay? Um, like I was thinking about the so for these past 2 weeks, because I think it's been almost 2 weeks since I last posted anything, a video form at least. I was thinking about my intention, my intent with life in general. I was like, what do I want to do, right? Because I don't necessarily look at what I say to be of value, which is interesting. It's just an interesting perspective. I don't really look at the words that come out of my mouth to be the important thing. And when I say that, I'm saying that I don't think the combination of sounds that comes out of my mouth is the important thing. So it's like I'm stumbling through this. You know, the first few notes that I actually wrote about video ideas they're very interesting. Because I wrote things like feeling small, ego and identity. What we need isn't more action, it's more understanding. Interesting. Dispel confusion. That like hard work is deeply rooted in a sense of unworthiness. Those are interesting ideas. The pride in being different. And we are like frogs in a boiling pot. These are like 6 small things that I had noted like 2 weeks ago. And when I was thinking, okay, what can I speak about? And now I'm like, okay, fuck it. Let's speak about these things. Why does it matter what the video is about? It doesn't. Like I have many notes. Okay, these at the beginning doesn't matter. It's not gonna focus. These at the beginning are what I wrote about the video, but the rest is just my notes. And I have my notes section is like a tome at this point. I have poems written here. I have texts, just thoughts written here. I just have random memos, but it's mainly just more so, if you want to say, artistic or thoughtful. Questions like, where does imagination come from? My problem is the heavy focus on problems. Okay. I want to provide hope to people, but not in the future, but in the present moment. I want to give hope in what is. I want to listen to and acknowledge people's experiences. I want to make every experience feel accepted in this world. I don't want to sell anything I don't have. I don't want to propose anything that isn't. I'll just offer what is. Great. See, I did not plan on reading this, but past me put this great. I want to make every experience feel accepted in this world. That is one of my goals. So like, okay, so now I see, okay, let's make this video just going through my notes and see what comes from that, because my notes are a great way to look at things. Choice. What is choice? What is change? Happiness is the feeling of contribution. The illusion of self-help books. Ego death. What is inspiration? The difficulty of succumbing to academia as a believer of the spiritual. This is in relation to my my problems with school. Having trouble finding myself in all these teachings. And when I say all these teachings, I mean books depicting the spiritual, or whether it be religious, Buddhist, it doesn't matter. Faith is all present. How attitude shapes reality. Great. Like, I have so many things that I have written down that they could all become a video, one in themselves. But so I have like an hour that I can film. So what I imagine myself doing is I will just speak about anything for 1 hour. I will cut that down in small main pieces that I believe can go on like YouTube Shorts and Instagram. Like the parts that I find like, oh, this is a cool 2 to 3 minute segment. Like, that's how I imagine this going. I just turn on the camera. I just start speaking about whatever the fuck I want to be speaking about. And sometimes I want to make this shit stupid as well. I want to just make it funny. Sometimes I'll just start talking about the most bullshit of bullshit, like make anime boobs tier lists, okay? We might do that. We might. Wifey tier list, or even husbando tier list. We might do that. And I can already feel, I'm just, you know what? This fucking, it's touched it. I can already feel the energy within me change just by getting used to this interaction again. So actually, let me go for all of the video ideas that I had written down. But let me scan them first and see which one resonates. So what I like the most right now is what we need isn't more action, it's more understanding. Because it's related to why I don't really feel like posting some of the videos I filmed. But it's not, it's like, it's kind of related as an issue within my own mind. It's like, oh, doing something for the sake of doing it just because I said I would do it doesn't really mean anything. The same as hard work is deeply rooted in a sense of unworthiness. Like these two. Like, I would like to tackle these two things, I guess. Less action, more understanding. Hard work is deeply rooted in a sense of unworthiness. So, let's take myself as an example. For the past not just 2 weeks, but I'd say a few months. I have actually, why months? Years, actually, because I am not a person that acts like, you know, how people live their lives in the whatever sense of the word you look at that as. You like wake up and you have like goals. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna start working towards my dream of becoming a billionaire. I want to like become a graphic designer. And you're like, every day you're like moving towards a certain goal. You know, some people do that, some people don't. It's like, it doesn't matter. Why would I generalize? That's not the point. So I do not really do things. I walk. I watch stupid videos. I think. I read. I listen to audiobooks. I play games sometimes. Less so lately. I feel like I want to cut this from the video eventually because I'm speaking about nothing and I'm not enjoying speaking about nothing. And the fact that I'm not enjoying speaking about nothing makes me want to actually keep this in, because why the fuck are you scared of speaking about nothing? People speak about nothing all the time. I just speak about nothing in such a way that's not really entertaining. It's really hard to grasp and digest. Very abstract. Which makes me just not want to post anything. I mean, I don't have to post all of it. I can just cut it in parts, right? But that's... See, the reason why this is hard, my stomach just made noises, is because I don't have a goal. And that's what I've been trying to figure out. It's, why do I want to film videos? Because if the goal is to just showcase myself, then it doesn't matter what I post. Because whatever I make is what's important. Whatever I make is what makes sense. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Like even this. Because that's me, right? So maybe that's exactly what this needs to be. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. No, it's not maybe I'm just overthinking it. I definitely am overthinking it. I'm definitely overthinking it. Overthinking it. See, I don't like that word. I'm just someone that likes to see, nothing's coming out. so then there's nothing to say. If there's nothing coming out, then there's nothing to say. That's a thing we do a lot of the times is we try to force certain habits. See, this is great. Less action, more understanding. Like whenever the camera is rolling, not just now, like imagine everyday life. You're put under certain pressure, you know, to do things. You're at work, you're under a certain pressure to move in a certain direction of work. When you're working out, you're under a certain pressure to, maintain your routine. It's like, oh, today I'm doing legs. And you have an idea in your head that says, okay, this is what we're going to do. And you're trying to stick to that idea. I am turning the camera on. There is a certain pressure that's telling me, oh, you need to be speaking coherently about a certain topic, right? Starting this moment, right? But a lot of the times, we don't really question these currents. Like, we don't stop and ask ourselves. When you go to the gym, you don't stop mid-workout and ask yourself, do I really need to be doing 3 sets of squats rather than 2? Do I really need to do a progressive overload of plus 5 kg every single set of Bulgarian splits? What if I just do plus 2.5? No, but plus 2.5 is less than last time. Why would I do less? Gotta do more. Oh, I filmed a video last time and it was good, but I lacked a bit of structure, which means that this time the video needs to have more structure, right? Because we want improvement. We want to see progress over time, improvement over time. But we want to see progress in our personal view of progress. Like if you ask yourself, what is progress? What is evolution? You're going to answer within the terminology that you understand. You're going to say, oh, progress is graduating my school, graduating from my program with like special honors. If you're like a really good student, progress is getting a raise at the end of the year or like getting a promotion, after putting some hard work. Progress is moving from your old apartment. Progress is benching 100 kg rather than 75, right, by the end of the year. Progress is XYZ, right? Progress is losing 5 kg by the end of the year. Progress is learning 10 new pieces on guitar. Progress is being able to afford more clothes than I could last year. Progress is learning, getting more knowledge in my head in relation to the topics that I like, or more dexterity in the tasks that I like, or more intuitive understanding in the activities that I want to partake in. So, like every day we wake up, every moment, We feel the need of progress, the need to develop in a certain direction. Because what else is there to do, right? Like, if you're going to live your life, you don't want to stay in the same place. But then life rarely, if ever, unless you're like a really determined individual that literally forces their way through every single door, then life will take you unexpectedly in directions that you may not have liked. You know? You're really into going to the gym, and then 2 months you're like, oh yeah, we're doing great, like muscles, blah 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 blah, we're like growing, and then your knee is gonna tell you, hello sir, dear sir, I am in pain, would you mind taking a break? And you're gonna look at the knee and you're gonna be like, no? Can't you deal with it? And the knee is gonna be like, I will try, dear sir, but I think you should be more careful. And you're gonna look at the knee and be like, I have a schedule to go through. Alright? We're not stopping. We're never stopping. I need to reach bodybuilder status, okay? Because if not, girls won't be into me. And then guys won't be into me. I need to show them I'm disciplined. I can't stop. Okay? Okay, dear sir. We'll do our best. And then you keep pushing through it, wondering why the fuck the knee pain is still going on. And then your elbow is in pain. And then one of them gives out. And you go to the doctor and he's like, I think you shouldn't work out for like 6 months. And then you're like, what the fuck do you mean? So you're telling me I should stop? What about all the bitches that like me for my muscles? What about my self-esteem? My progress? What about that? I mean, this is just one example, right? It's not universal. That's not the universal experience, but it shows the pattern that I'm talking about. It's the same with a job. It's like you go to the job, you don't like it, your wheels are grinding, you keep working constantly, and then you push through task after task, project after project, people you don't like speaking with, but you're like, oh, this is my job, so you keep speaking with them. And then one day you wake up and your brain is just off. You're like, I don't want to get out of bed. So you don't get out of bed. You call in at work and you're like, yo, I'm kind of dead. And depending on your work environment, your boss might be like, what the fuck do you mean you're dead? What about those projects? And you're like, yeah, nah, fuck you. And then you lose your job. But then you're scared of it still. Like, even though you understand, you don't want to do that. But then your identity collapses. Like in such moments when you're really focused on progressing, on evolving on a certain graph, which is working out, job, certain skills. It can be anything, art. When that thing tells you, I've had enough, and it feels like you drop back to the starting line. Well, it's not the starting line. You're here. You're not here. You're here. You're on the, it seems like you're on the same horizontal plane, but even that's not true. You're probably here. Like you're going here and you're like here now. But it feels like you're here. You're back at the beginning. So now your identity collapses, like over here at this point. Your identity just, because you've stopped. You've pretty much stopped in this point. So then the hard work stops. The hard work part stops. And here's where the understanding part needs to come in. Because we're brute forcing life. We're not listening. So when this happens, when we're forcing our engine to run over time without any oil, and it breaks down, we now need to pick up the pieces and restructure the engine. But we have to restructure it in a new way, because the old way is not going to work anymore. Because we've seen that we're pushing for things that we shouldn't be pushing for. Hard work, effort. There's a Krishnamurti video where he talks about effort in an interview. What is effort? Effort is opposition of forces. It's when you want to go in a direction, but you also want to go in a different direction. When you have a certain expectation of what you need to do, but then part of you comes the other way and tells you no. And there's this push and pull. And effort is when you ignore part of yourself and you keep going. But then this resistance is going to erode at this other force until you reach a stopping point, a breaking point, where you now have to stop and reevaluate everything. You now have to understand. And you have to move forward with more understanding than before. A lot of the times we don't. A lot of the times we just take a break and we keep doing exactly the same thing that we've been doing before. It's like, oh, I just needed some rest. You know? Oh, I wasn't doing anything wrong before. I just needed some rest. Sometimes that could be the case, but rarely, very rarely, that is the case. Because sometimes we do ignore just the fact that we need rest. See, now let's exemplify this situation with what I'm doing now. I just talked about these examples for 20 minutes, 15, I don't know, 10. And what I'm feeling in my mind right now is not calmness. It's some sort of chaos. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, it's energy that's not connected to anything. It's like I'm speaking about things that I don't believe in, just for the sake of speaking about them. Honestly, because this is what it is. I feel like I turned on my camera and I have to speak. And that's what's making me hate this. It's that I turned on the camera and I imagine that I need to speak. And because I imagine that I need to speak, there's a counterforce. It's like, I need to speak. And then there's a counterforce that says, no, you don't. You don't need to speak. And then the more I'm speaking, the more this other force that says you don't need to speak also pushes back. And this is part of a reason why I haven't really posted or filmed. It's because I don't need to speak. Do I want to film things? I don't know. See, I don't know. That first video I filmed and that second video I filmed, yeah, I wanted to film it. I just pressed that button and I spoke. But then what came out of that was like a rationalization of the impulse. It's like there was an impulse to do something, and I did it. And then maybe, if I would have listened attentively, I would have stopped there. And then picked it up again when the time was right. Whenever that is. But there's no point in talking about hypotheticals. What happened. However, what I feel happened is that I attached an idea I have to that instance of me filming those videos. And I was like, yes, now is the time for me to start this video making arc. That's not the point. Like, I don't care about making videos. I don't know. See? I'm trying to understand what exactly I want out of this life. What can I offer? What can I give? What exactly am I here for, right? And I'm here like everybody else. I'm here to fulfill my desires. Now that is a convoluted sentence. It is a convoluted sentence. Because if I say I'm here to fulfill my desires, 1,000 people will interpret that sentence 1,000 different ways. But within the structure of that sentence, and I'm going to do a Jordan Peterson right here. I don't know who I am. I don't know what here is. I don't know what fulfilling means. I don't know what desires means. I don't know what my desires are. I don't even know. If I don't know who I am, I don't even know what the word my means. My desires. So I know nothing about the structure of that sentence. And isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy that we can be speaking about things, just words coming out, and we don't know what any of them mean? Like, we don't know what words are. We just keep speaking and speaking and speaking. We keep showcasing ourselves, and every word embodies some sort of energy form because it does, but we don't know exactly what it is. We're just kind of intuitively navigating it. It's like, oh, this word feels kind of right. You know, the word love. Ooh. And some of us shiver. Some of us are like, yes, love. And some of us are like, no, fuck that. Interpretations are many. Like, I have gone for many currents of energy within this filming, within these 45 minutes, 40, I can't see, 44, 30 seconds. I have gone for many currents of energy. And that's obvious. But to some of us, it isn't. We rarely pay attention. Rarely. We rarely pay attention to what's actually happening. And in my case, whenever I start doing something, and it feels like it's some sort of pressure taking me somewhere. It feels like I'm not being myself, whatever that means. It feels like I'm swimming in mud. So, you know, so if I film a video, as an example, and I press the end button, and I stop, and I feel like I've been swimming in mud for an hour, like I've been speaking, but within that hour, I have been swimming in mud. I don't feel like posting it. Because at that point, it's not truthful enough to where I feel like posting it. It becomes unreal. Language is complicated. Words. And I realize the issue now. The issue is that I believe that I should be getting somewhere with these videos. The issue is that when I turn that camera on, it feels like I'm trying to speak to get to truth. I'm trying to reliably put this experience, this experience into a box of words. And I can't do that. I just can't do that. That's not possible. It's not. It's just not. No matter what I speak about, no matter what angle I take it from, no matter what combination of of sound complexes I may be using. No matter how I speak about it, no matter whether I'm being philosophical or stupid about it, there's nothing that I can say and it ends there. There's nothing that I can say. There is nothing that I can say. I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing that I can say. Like, I can keep talking about the problem with hard work. I can keep talking about it. I can keep talking about the combination between aligned action and understanding and working, but not hard working, just working, just acting in an aligned way, and then acting from inspiration. And then the moment inspiration stops and you get into effort is where you should stop and reconsider what you're doing, and many things like that. And intention and clarifying will, and then understanding that the balance between letting the world be as it is and trying to change things, because that's a very interesting balance. No matter what I speak about, I can't say anything. I just can't. I can't. I can't. And that's the issue. That's the issue, because every time I try to press that button, it feels like I have to speak about something. But I can't speak about anything. I can't. I just can't. I can't. Because there's nothing to speak about. There is nothing to speak about. And I'm not even annoyed. Why would I be? It's great. There is nothing to speak about. How many people will actually understand what I'm talking about? I don't know. Not many. But that also doesn't matter. That's not the point. See, it's funny because I want really badly to offer people a greater understanding of what it is that's happening and of what it is that they want and of how to make life better. But I realize that the only thing I can do is to just get the answers to the questions myself first. And until that happens, there's no point in forcing myself to make videos. I mean, I'm not. It's not like I forced myself to press that button. I did it willingly. It's just that I did it willingly while knowing that the current of energy is incomplete. I did it willingly while knowing that my desire to turn on that camera is still not fully formed. It's still yet, we're finding our way. We're not yet fully aligned. But that's funny because it's not true. That's also not true. Because everything that happens is fully aligned. It's only my interpretation that's changing. My understanding of what's happening is the only thing that changes this understanding of alignment. I know that doesn't make any sense. I know that y'all motherfuckers, if anybody even gets to this point, which most people will not, you're gonna be like, is this guy tripping? He tripping. Isn't he tripping? He definitely tripping. And I will be like, yes, I be tripping. I understand. Trust me. I understand very well how difficult it is to want to actually listen to me. But that's who I am. My apologies. But that's what's going on in my mind. And a lot of the times when I actually have like normal things to say or I'm pondering much more down to earth subjects, they always still get to this point, but I don't need to film it. I don't. I don't feel the need to film it. So whenever I stop and film and I press that button, it's a completely different fucking experience, okay? Different. Fucking different. But that's just what it is. It's just what it is. And in the future, that might change. Yeah. There is nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. And when there will be, I will talk about it. But there's nothing to talk about.